so glad that you could join me on my Thursday 3D project night. If you happen to sign on and you're here, type me a message in the comments so that I can know that you're here, and I will do my best to look over at my laptop and keep track of the messages. Sometimes I'm not as good at that as I should be, but I am trying. Tonight we're going to be making this treat box. Actually, it's a treat basket with 2 treat boxes inside of it. I just think it's so cute. And look at these little clips that I ordered from Stampin' Up! They make the perfect closure. They come in silver and gold. And it's just going to use 1 piece of cardstock to make the basket, 1 piece of DSP to make the bags, and then a half a piece to do the panels for the side of the boxes. I'm just going to wait another minute because it's 6:59. I'll wait till exactly 7 o'clock and then I'll start with the directions. I thought you could make these maybe in like Valentine colors and put some hearts on here, and it would just make a little nice treat for a Valentine. Or maybe if you were having a Valentine dinner, you could make favors for the table. I'm not sure exactly what everybody's doing for Valentine this year, but just a little idea. And then you could also use it for other holidays, Easter, Mother's Day, Halloween. Those would be other ways that you could use it. Hi, Judy. That's fine. It'll be on here later, and you can watch the whole thing at one time, and I'll put the measurements in the post when I post it after I'm finished. Bye, Judy. Okay, I'm going to get started, and I will keep watching the comments. So, what we're going to start out with today to make this box this evening is I'm going to make this one in cherry cobbler, and I'm going to be using the free celebration DSP called Field and Flowers, or I'm sorry, Flower and Field. I just love this. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Valentine's Day, and then one side is pattern and one side is flowers. So we're going to start with the cherry cobbler. And here's our piece that we cut. This is for the box. This is for the handle. Now when you cut the box, you'll have this strip left so that you can, you just need to cut a little off to make the handle. So the box measurements are 9 3/4 by 6 7/8. So then we're going to get our scoring board out. Let me put this handle up here so I can get it out of the way. So I have my scoring board here, and we're going to score at 2 inches on every side. Only we're just going to not push it all the way up to the edge, just to make it a little bit easier to fit the treat bags in there. We're going to move it out just so you can see just about 1/8 of an inch of the scoring board there. That just makes it easier so we don't have to say you score at 2 1/8 or 1 something eighths. You can score just right at 2. So I'm going to score at 2 on every side. I love my scoring board because it makes it so easy, but you could also use your Stampin' Up! Cutter with the scoring blade I just find it easier to do on here. So now I've got all 4 sides scored, so I'm going to set that aside. And as long as I have the scoring out, I'm going to do the little treat bags that sit in the basket. So I'm going to put it in long ways like this. And I'm going to score at, let me look at my paper, at 2 7/8, which is the line right before the 3, at 5 3/4, at 8 5/8. So these are 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8s. And at 11 1/2, which is easy to find. Then I'm going to turn it with the short side at the top, and I'm going to score it 2. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other one. I'm going to score it at 2 7/8 and 5 3/4 and 8 5/8. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8, and 11 1/2. Turn it around and score it 2. Okay, so now there we have everything that we need scored, we have scored. So let's start with the box first. The first thing we're going to do is fold all of our score lines. This way it just makes it much smoother to put your box together. I'm going to see if anybody has put any comments on there yet. Sometimes it's hard for me to do 2 things at one time. Nope, I don't see anybody else yet. If you join, please say hello in the comments so I can know some other people are here. So there's our basket. We're going to cut our tabs for the basket now. And remember how we cut on the score line and then we make a little V. We kind of come down just so that it just goes together so much smoother since I learned this trick. There we go. So we're going to do that to all 4 corners. It was a very nice day here in Missouri. It was about 50 and it was partly sunny, and it was just refreshing to be able to go out and soak in some sun with just a light jacket on. But by tomorrow, I think because it was 50 today, I think it's going to be 39 tomorrow. So at least we got to see it for a day. Okay, so now we got that all done. Let me just throw away my scraps here. Now tonight I'm going to be using the tear and tape. And you'll have to excuse me because if you've seen my other videos, my dog got a hold of my tear and tape, so it looks a little bad, so, but it still works. So I'm just going to kind of put this diagonally here. And I'm going to do that on all 4 tabs. For some reason, my laptop keeps freezing. I think it's my internet. Okay, so now we're going to go and take off this paper and fold up the box. I like to use my pick a tool for this, and I found if I start at this end and kind of go this way, of course I rub it first to be sure that the tape is stuck good, and then I just kind of take this end here and I peel it back with my pick a tool. It's much easier than trying to pick it off with my nails, I have found. Oops, I forgot this one. One more. I'm going to have to remember not to leave my tear and tape close to the edge of my desk when I'm not here. Otherwise, Herbie finds it and chews it up. Here we go again. One more piece. I just love making these little 3D projects. It's something that you can do besides just cards. So now we're going to carefully fold our edges so that everything meets. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to kind of go in here and rub pretty hard on all the tabs so that I can be sure that they're going to stick well. Okay, now this is the strip that you had left on the side of your paper when you cut the box out, and we want to cut this. It's just a little bit too wide. It gets bulky when you bend it, so we want to cut it to 1 3/8, and then of course it's 9 3/4 long. Then here is our piece of design. I decided to, this is the one side of the paper, I decided to use this side. And this is cut at 1 1/8 by 9 1/2. And like always, I'll put all my measurements in the post after I post the replay. So I'm going to put a little stamp and seal on here. And then I'm going to carefully try to get this very long sheet straight. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to, I'm just going to use a little of my mono adhesive for the ends here. Maybe. Here it comes. I forgot to put it back in its little holder so that it was upside down. Put a little bit on this end. And then I'm going to look halfway in my box here. And I'm going to fold it over. Hold it for a few minutes since I used mono adhesive instead of tape. Again, I'm going to use my bone folder. The bone folder just comes in handy for so many things. Okay, so there's our basket. Now let's make some treat bags to go in there. Oh, I completely forgot. So you should really do this before you put the box together. We should have put on the panels on the outside of the basket, but I got in a hurry. So these two panels are cut at 1 3/4 by 5 1/2, and they're going to go here on the sides. And then the ends are cut at 1 3/4 by 2 5/8. So I'm just going to kind of quickly put these on. It would be much easier to do if it was flat before you put it together. I just got ahead of myself on my steps. It happens sometimes. I'm trying to remember all the steps in my head. And now I'm trying to find the end of... Okay, so I'm just going to use my mono adhesive. Because my tear and tape is not working well for me tonight. I'm just going to put some mono adhesive on the back. I'm going to line it up. There we go. Oh. There we go. I'm going to do the end. Like I said, this would be so much easier to do if I had done it before I put it together. Now my laptop is frozen completely, so I won't be able to answer any comments or anything until later, till I see the replay, because my laptop has decided to restart itself. I do not know why. Just one of those things. So I'm going to line this panel up. Turn it this way. If you make comments, let me know where you're from. I always like to know where people are from. And then I'm going to go to the final side and put on the final panel. But just remember, when you do this at your house, to put these panels on before you put it together. You can just get a much better placement and everything when it's flat. It's just so much easier. Okay, and then I'm going to use my bone folder and again go over this just so I can be sure I have a firm adhesive with it. Okay, so now we are done with the basket. Just wanted to be sure I didn't have any lumps in there. Okay, so now we're going to go to the treat bags. They're both going to be the same. Okay, I'm re-recording the end of my live video because I had technical difficulties with making the bags that go inside the basket. So I'm just going to start over with the bags, but I will put the two videos together. So here we go. So now we have our 6x12 piece of paper that we want to use to make our treat bag. we're going to take our scoring tool and we're going to score at 2 7/8. And we're going to score at 5 3/4. And we're going to score at 8 5/8. And then we're going to score at 11 1/2. Then we're going to pre-fold all our score lines so that it will go together easier when we make the box. Of course, we need the other line. So we're going to put the short side up there and we're going to do a 2-inch score. Get it in there even. And do a 2-inch score. Okay, so now we have all of our lines scored. We're going to fold out this piece. And we're going to fold it. We're going to fold this piece. We're going to fold this piece. We're going to fold this piece. And then we're going to fold this little piece, which is our tab, to keep our treat bag together. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to trim off the bottom of this tag right here of this tab. And we're going to make like a little V-shaped here. Remember how we do that on our boxes and bags so that they go together nicely. Do a little V-shape up here at the top, just to the score line. Okay. And then we're going to cut each score line. These are so hard to see. I know that you can't see them. I can barely see them. So I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to do a V. And then I kind of want to cut this one at a V too, just to be sure. Okay, then I'm going to cut this one. And put my V in there. I don't know what happened with the live. I messed up my bag. I had glue on my fingers, so I thought it would just be easier if I redid the end of it. And on this one, I'm just going to come down and make one more V. And put a V at this end. Okay, so now I want the flower side to be the outside of my bag. So I'm going to take this tab and I'm going to again take my bone folder and just be sure that it's nicely laying down there. And I'm going to add a thin line of our mono adhesive. And I'm going to bring this over and line it up. Now, I have a box shape. So I'm going to fold down this side and this side. And I'm going to put a little mono adhesive at the top. And a little bit kind of at the bottom of this one. I keep forgetting to try to hold it in the camera so that you can see it. Then fold down this side. Then I'm going to take, it's because I'm using mono adhesive instead of the Stamp and Seal Plus because I'm out of it. You kind of have to use a little bit more pressure to get it to stick at first. Okay, and then we're going to take a line of mono adhesive on this tab. And we're going to fold it down. We're going to take our bone folder. We're going to go on the inside. Just to be sure all the spots are glued, we're going to push in the sides. And a little bit here in the front. We're going to get out 2 of our new clips. These are silver. There's also gold ones in there. And we are going to clip the bag. There's one. I just love these little clips. They just make it so cute. You could also punch some holes and put ribbon through, tie some linen thread around the edges and tie a bow. So, voila. Due to video magic, my other bag is already made. And so you can either put them in here this way, side by side like this, or they will fit in the other way, just not, I like them better the first way, because then you can see the clips much better. And I just think they look cuter. They kind of look bunched in there when you put them this way. So, but they will fit. So now they're all ready for you to put some treats on. Put some treats in them. And they will be ready to give to somebody as a thank you gift, as a I'm thinking of you gift for Valentine's. You can put some hearts. Put a little hearts on your little clips here. And there you go. Thanks for joining me. And again, thanks for putting up with my recordings. Have a great evening. See you all later. Bye.